Hello everyone, my name's Rob, and if you're watching this video, you're probably wanting to know a little bit more about 1150 and what it can kind of do for you. I'll sort of talk through it as if it's coming from me and my experience, because I did go through it. The video might be a little bit long, but it will be chaptered out. If you don't want to wait to the end of the video, in real short, I went through 1150. I graduated. I ended up getting a job a month later in a development position. So anyways, let me go ahead and sort of talk about what it's like going through the entire program from start to finish from a student point of view, which was my point of view. Again, if you are interested in a certain topic that I'm going to be discussing, it will be chaptered out down there. And if you are looking at enrolling in 1150, I provided a link in it as well, because it will give you a discount when going through the course if you decide to go through it. So a little bit about me. I spent 12 years in the military. Majority of those years were spent as a helicopter pilot. Once I got out, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I did end up getting, I tried sales, I tried some tech jobs. And although the money was great, I really didn't feel satisfied as a person. I didn't look forward to going to work every single day. And obviously that has changed now that I've gone through 1150 and their course. So when I was going through, I was looking into coding. I've always enjoyed coding as far as the concept of it. I remember in high school taking a few courses there, even programming a little calculator back in the day there. But coding has always intrigued me, and I have dibble-dabbled with a few websites. And when I say websites, I'm talking about dropping and dragging things and having it magically display. 1150 actually teaches you how to do that stuff without having to use drop and drag methods, obviously. The thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to be formally trained in a coding language. At the time, 1150 offered two different types of languages. They offered a .NET course, and then they also offered a JavaScript course. I ended up choosing the JavaScript course just because of it was a way for me to be creative. I felt like I enjoyed making websites. I enjoyed the logic that could potentially come from it as well. So wanting to get formally trained, that meant that I was going to be doing some research on coding. I was definitely targeted in Facebook ads from various different coding like boot camps. And what made me decide to go with 1150 was the fact that they allowed GI Bill to be accepted. Right, the other coding academies, they said that they didn't have the working relationship with the government in order to accept that. So I also felt that if your academy, your schooling is going to be affiliated with anything for the government, if the government approves it, it's got to be pretty legit. So I started my appointment and met with an advisor. The advisor suggested a few apps to download to kind of see if you actually like it. There was some typing skills, typing tests that they gave me, and then they said, "Hey, why don't you go to attend a free intro course, intro to HTML and CSS." And it lasted about 3 hours. During the entire process, as far as from the sales administration point of view, never felt pressured as far as, hey, kept bugging me. Matter of fact, I felt like I was bugging them because I wanted to get enrolled in the next thing. I wanted to change careers. So again, the class that I took was the JavaScript. It was the first time that they offered it in a part-time capacity. Something that did kind of concern me at first was, am I going to get as much knowledge as the full-time course? Because the full-time course, you're actually like really immersed in it. You're living it and breathing it every single day. eight hours a day? And then are we going to get that same sort of outcome going through it from a part-time point of view, and it's spanning over 6 months? So anyways, the once I enrolled, they had some pre-work for us to do, and that just gave us a basic foundation of some real basic, HTML, so website code, real basic JavaScript, like what is a variable and so on. So they do have it structured there. There's no videos that go along with that course, as far as the pre-work part of it. I am a little bit of a visual learner. So if they had a topic going over something on the pre-work, I would also do a Google search, see if there's any kind of YouTube videos that kind of reinforced that thought or that idea. But again, I just think that going through that pre-work and just getting a real basic knowledge will help you out on the first day. And I believe that they even enforce that you have to do the pre-work to make sure that you are going to be ready to start day one. Now, as far as other things that kind of enticed me into going in with 1150 was some of the student projects that they came out with. The project examples that I saw were pretty neat. Some of the concepts that I saw students do were pretty neat, and that told me that this is more than just something that looks very simplistic. So if you are looking at some sort of coding academy, I would definitely see what are some of the student projects that are out there, so that way you can kind of get an idea of saying, oh, hey, this could actually be a real looking website. Future notes here is that during the phases that they give you, so there's gold badge, blue badge, red badge, and each one of them has certain criteria that you have to meet in order to go to the next phase. But the project that I worked on for myself in the blue badge category, it's being used right now today by paying customers. So again, I couldn't have done these skills without 1150's influence. So anyways, let's talk a little bit about, what are some of the projects in the first phase that we end up doing. And again, going through any kind of boot camp, it's always going to be a rush of information through a fire hose. But with the repetition and you living it and breathing it every single day, even the part-time, you're living and breathing it every single day, is the fact that it's going to start sinking in. It's going to start sinking in. So the very first one that they kind of gave us here is just to get you used to styling is make a CSS creature. And again, I try to make this as very simple as possible, just to play around with it. So this is the CSS project. Again, it's just a bunch of circles, but this is all done with HTML and then the styling of CSS. Okay, so this isn't an image, it's not a GIF or anything like that, but it does teach you how to be able to style things. Eventually, these things they wanted you to put in a portfolio. Again, not sure how much of this would be job worthy or not. I did not include it in my, after graduation, I didn't include it in mine. But still, it's a fun little project that they end up giving you. The next thing that we kind of had to do was we had to create a static website. And they gave you some rules here where we weren't able to use any kind of, again, you're probably not familiar with this, but like Bootstrap, this is all, custom styling. And, you had to have a header, you had to have some sort of animation, you had to, have these links here, go to the certain sections. So again, they're just it's just going through the challenges that they give you, the projects that they're trying to make your portfolio nice. Now, the very end project that they give you for the first phase is you're actually building your portfolio. So if somebody goes to your portfolio, they should be able to take a look at some of your projects, a little bit about you, and then have a contact thing somewhere on the page. So this was my portfolio, a little bit of animation in there, but you can see here we have some of the projects, and the top three here are all projects that I did while I was at 1150. This was the first project in Gold Badge, and basically we had to reach out to an external service. I chose Webster Dictionary, and you can type in any word in here that you want. You can click the search button, and Webster Dictionary will give back the response. So you submitted tree, and it's going to come back with the definition. And sometimes it even comes back with a word, with a WAV file for the browser to play.
Tree.
And, it's a nice little effect. So that was completed during our first, I believe it was 6 weeks, is when we had to have this done and the portfolio done in that static page. As far as the part-time happened when I was going through it. The portfolio, again, this was, as you're going through it, we'd probably only have this thing right here and your CSS creature as far as the project to be shown. And then down at the bottom, you just have a simple contact page. Now, as far as the next phase again is going to be adding on top of your knowledge, which you've already had, which is you're going to be learning React, as far as the front end goes. And then as far as the back end, or, the things that go on behind the scenes, it was Node.js with Express, and it's attaching to a Postgres database. So you're going to be doing some database work of, being able to create a full, they call it full stack page, where you can log in, you can log out, your users can do some saving in there and updating and deleting records and all the neat things that a normal website does. And this is the one that I was telling you all about that it actually created in Blue Badge, and it's making me money today for my wife's website on scrappydoo.com. People will just pay $30 to have access to it, but it gives them the ability to choose. This is a paper doll kind of factory, and they're going to be able to choose the paper doll's body type, what kind of hairstyle that paper doll should have, and what kind of outfit for it to wear. And then they can create the layout, and that's where they can use like scissors and cut out these patterns, or they can have a machine that you see like I have right behind me in order to cut that stuff out. Okay, but anyways, that was the Blue Badge project. And then the final project that we did was where we had to work in a group project, and every single person on the team brought their individual things to the table. Like we had I was paired up with two ladies. One lady was really great at CSS. The other lady was really good at if we didn't know something, she really knew how to search and find the answer and make that code work for our project. So we created a little app called Doggo, and it's kind of referencing Rover a little bit, where you can sign up as a dog watcher or a dog walker. Now, the thing that we wanted to integrate into this was, interacting with Google, and so we did Google Maps. That's what we were going to go with, and people can upload pictures of their dogs. People can search in their area for potential walkers. They can rate their walkers. So it was a pretty neat project that we kind of worked on, right? But you can kind of see here is if we pick a time, pick a date, it's going to search the database for some potential walkers, and you can see where the walkers are at in relation to you. So you're the dog owner, and then it came up with a potential of 4 people, and if you visit the person, you can kind of see what their reviews are like. All right. A lot of time, a lot of effort went into all the projects from 1150. We always kept trying to push ourselves to learn something new. And I think, it kind of shows once you are in these types of programs. So I guess what I would say to you all is, if you are looking at a coding academy, kind of ask those questions of, hey, can I see what some of the student projects are like? What are some of the success stories coming from the academy? Those are the types of questions that I would kind of ask. As far as what happened with me, as soon as I graduated in 2019 October, a month later, I ended up getting a job for ADT, working as a developer for them. Prior to getting hired, I did end up, they were asking some of the students, saying, hey, would you be interested in becoming a learning assistant to sort of help the next class move forward, especially since we just got done going through the program, right? So me wanting to stay in the code, I definitely took up that offer, and I was able to help the next class. I enjoyed my time so much at 1150 that not only was I working full time for ADT, I did this in the part-time evening as a learning assistant. That I moved up the moved up the contractor's ladder, I guess, and I wanted to actually try a hand at instructing as well. So I originally went to school to become a teacher, so that sort of pacified my way to actually ended up instructing at 1150 as well. So I still have both jobs. I'm still doing both the coding job at ADT, and now I'm considered an instructor for the part-time class for JavaScript and web development. All right, but hopefully you enjoyed this real quick review of what 1150 can do. Please make sure that if you are interested, use the link that you see in the description, as it will potentially save you money. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.